Hi, this your boy Codehova, iOS Hustla. So we're moving on, and what we just finished is placing views on the screen and updating their properties. Let's move on to the next topic of role of view controllers. All right, what the fuck does that mean, right? So let's just continue on using the project that we had open, which would be 0102 views on the screen. So let me just make it super easy. And what we're going to do is erase all this shit. We're going to erase it, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a label in the middle of the screen. Alright, and what we're going to do is constrain this label view in the horizontally and vertically in the container that it's in. And we're going to change this color to white. Let's also make this, let's select that. And what we could do is, this is changing the UI labels attributes. We're going to change this to something. Let's go with the title. All right, maybe title's too small. Let's keep it pimping, and let's just make this heavy, and then let's make this 50 points. Okay, this is before. So let's see how this looks on the iPhone SE. All right, cool. So it fits. It might not be the most perfect. All right. So what we could do, since it's not perfect, if let's say if this is before exclamation, and we run this, my guess is that it's not going to fit perfectly. All right. See, the T is missing. Some exclamation points is missing. So this is what we could do. Is we're gonna put some constraints on the leading and trailing edge. Leading is the left side. Well, it is the left side for people in America, but you have to know that leading in like the Middle East, I don't think so it's in China, but you know, there's countries where they read from right to left. So leading would be the right on that side. So anyways, let's just put a constraint up to 20 on the left, 20 on the right. Okay. So what that's going to do is it's going to look like this on the screen. And if we run it, this is how it looks. You see, it's going to be, forgot what it's going to be called. It's going to be truncated. Okay. The tail is going to be truncated. But what we want to do is we want to truncate, but let's just say we're going to auto shrink it to fit onto the screen. So we could give it a minimum font scale, which means it's going to fit. It's going to lower all the way down to a maximum of half the size of 50. So it's going to go to 25 points. Or we could give it a minimum font size, which could be, this is half. We could say we want it to be 33. Okay. So if it needs to reduce, it'll go all the way down to 33 at a max. But I think at this point, we're going to have it look perfect. All right, this is before. Cool. And then on the iPhone 8, if we run it, we have this. All right, they look identical, and that's what we're looking for. So what are view controllers? So as you might have heard in previous video, this is like the main view controller that we're working with. So in the module, this is the project that we're in, and the class is view controller. And this class of view controller it's right here, viewcontroller.swift. And if we look at the project, again, I told you that the main interface of this app is going to be main, which is this main storyboard. So when the app starts, it's gonna say, yo, what's the interface that I should pull up? And you're gonna say the main, which is gonna open this. And the storyboard, the initial view controller, is this view controller. So let's just be a little deliberate so that you could know exactly what's going on. So let me just reduce this in size. So let's say we had this view controller file. Okay, this is the code that's going to be the data that's going to be given to this The storyboard, all it is what you see. It's the view, and the view only. But this, the code that's behind this view is this viewcontroller.swift file. So let's just be super deliberate, and I think since I'm not pimping Swift no more, we're just gonna be working on this normal sized font, so you guys could see more code on the screen. So let's just say that, let's call this main view controller, and to be very, very OCD, let's also rename this to main view controller. All right, so let's run it. It should be the exact same. It should be the exact same. That's because all we edited was the name of the file itself and something in the comments. We didn't rename the class. So let's just say main view controller. Let's see what's up. This should cause a crash. Well, not a crash. Well, it didn't crash. It didn't have an error, but it's saying that there's an unknown class view controller in the interface builder file. So if I do that and I run it, it should just be a blank white screen. Cool. Damn. How's that working? It's tripping. But anyways, see, if we have this none right here, we have to update it to be what we want it to be. All right, cool. Now it's not bugging, no error messages. I honestly don't know how that shit happened. When this is nothing, I would expect it to just be a completely blank screen, and it's saying that there's no file to back this. But hey, it works. But anyways, it shouldn't. So that's how we update this identity of this view controller. See, this is the identity inspector. And we're going to want to connect this view controller file, this view controller view, with the corresponding file. Okay, so we got this main view controller, and it's going to be tied with this. And you see, it's saying this is before. Let's change this. This is on the storyboard. So if I run that, all right. Damn, maybe 33 is too big. So let's just say minimum scale. Let's go 0.2. So it should reduce as much as it needs to fill in the width with 20 points, I believe I set it to be. Okay, 2020. Alrighty, so what we want to do is we want to be able to control what's going to appear on this UI label that we set on this main view controller file. So how do we want to do that? There's two ways, all right? And this is the way that you might want to start off because you're new to this. What I have pressed is the assistant editor mode. Show the assistant editor. So what that does is on the view, we were on the storyboard file. When you press this assistant editor, it's going to try its best to show you the correct file. But when we're on this main view controller, it's going to show us the corresponding backing view controller code file. So here we have this main view controller file. So what we want to do is we're going to select the label, and then we're going to hold on to the control button. And then we hold on to the control, we click on the label, and then we're going to drag this line to the Swift file of main view controller. And we're going to, you see it says insert outlet or outlet collection. So we're going to let go. And you see we have these two options. We're going to want to do the outlet. And we're going to call this main label. And it's going to be of the type label because that's the UI view, type of UI view that we're working with, and we want the storage to be weak. It's just always good to have. I've never used a strong IB outlet. So if we press connect, it's going to say at IB outlet, this is the keyword, weak variable main label of type UI label. Okay, so as you see on this circle, it's filled out. Okay, so what's happening is we just gave our code file some way, an outlet for us to be able to manipulate this main label. So now this label on the screen, it has the name of main label. Let's go back and let me show this. So if we go into main view controller, we go into the outlet inspector, connections inspector, we'll see that we have something called the main label. And when we hover over it, this label is highlighted. So we have some sort of connection to be able to manipulate and edit this label through code. So in this view did load, let's do something. So right now it says this is on storyboard. What we want to do is let's type out main label. Okay. And then there are properties to UI views. And the property that we want to edit is the text. Okay. And we press equals and we want it to be a string of the value. This is on the Swift file. And let's run it. It no longer says this is on the storyboard because when we have run this app, because this is the backing code behind that view on the storyboard, it's going to do the code on this file for this view. And in this view, in the function view did load, we not only call the super of doing everything that this super class does, UI view controller. Not only is it going to do the super call in here, it is also going to manipulate the label that we have created. Main label, which is this label on the screen. Dot text. So UI labels, they have properties that you can manipulate. And we're going to set this text value to be this is on the Swift file. So that is the view controller. All right, where we're definitely going to be using many more view controllers as this course goes on. But this is what you have. This is how view controllers, the files themselves, how the Swift files come together with storyboard views. All right, it's your boy Codehova, iOS Hustla, Fly Combinator, live streams every Sunday, 5 p.m. You heard?